Welcome to the broadcast. I am the Reverend Dr. Mark Stenberg, Senior Contributing Editor.
And I'm the Reverend Russell, and this is Question to Text, the video blog. And it is Lent 3, Year A, and we are John 4, 5 through 42. That's right.
That's right. That's a lot of verses.
That's a lot of verses. And these next 3 weeks, we have these really long narrative texts.
Yeah, it presents a real problem for people. I mean, I love the narratives. I love the symbolism in John. The dialogue is really clipped.
It's like, melodramatic kind of dialogue. But it totally needs a rewrite. But the fact that it's just like there, it's so obvious, like lines, like this is like reads like a play.
Yeah.
You know? And so there's a lot of interesting things in this text.
Yeah.
Like Jesus is just transgressing boundaries all over the place. He's not only talking to Samaritans.
Back to the lines. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jesus says, Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." How do you deliver that line? Give me a drink.
Yeah. Is it like so? He's there. What? Are the disciples there? They've left.
He sends him away to get food.
Right, and so she just comes up.
I think, does he want food? I don't know. But
I don't know, like,
to get food.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, maybe you go get me something to eat.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. They go to the town, and so he's like staying at the well. I don't know why he doesn't go with them.
Yeah.
It's like, why are they staying at the well? Why are they going to town with them? I don't know.
Yeah.
But the well is significant in that this is the well where Jacob met his wife.
Yeah, I think there's 2 patriarchs, right, that meet their wives.
Jacob meets Rebecca, and then Abraham meets Sarah at the well.
Wow, so there's kind of a weird sexual tension going on.
I mean,
maybe?
I think the original hearers could not help but think
that
there's a sexual tension going on here.
Jesus all alone.
I mean, the logical thing that people would think from the story next is that they will end up married. Right? I mean, if Jesus...
At the very least, it's scandalous. There's a scandal in it.
It's holy scandal.
A holy scandal.
So she comes up, and he's in there like... And then, to your point, knowing all that backstory, how does Jesus deliver the line?
Give me a drink.
Give me a drink. No, how do you do it? Or is it more like...
Give me a drink.
Give me a drink.
That's the William Shatner.
I was just thinking that's totally William Shatner.
Put on space between the lines.
A drink. Yeah. No, I think maybe he's a little bit more like, how would that Jesus do it who's playing Jesus, in the new Son of God movie?
Oh, yeah.
See, how would he deliver it?
Diogo?
Yeah.
There'd be a shaft of light here on his golden surfer hair.
Yeah.
And
he'd be like, give me a drink.
Okay, anyway, stay on target. Okay, anyway, the context for this is set in, this is kind of the counterpart to the John 3 chapter.
Yes.
We have Nicodemus, the insider, going to Jesus at night.
Right.
And they talk past each other completely, and Nicodemus leaves.
And kind of goes off into the night, never to speak of their
completely confused, and doesn't appear until the very end.
Right.
Here we have an outsider,
right?
A woman who comes during daylight. She's an outsider. They talk past each other for a while, but then she gets it. And she goes to her village and says...
And she goes out and tells everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
So that is about halfway through it. We got this whole other thing where the disciples come back, and there's so much in this text. But what were you saying about just like in our context trying to preach this kind of long narrative?
Well, I don't know. There's lots of these narratives in John, and they don't deserve to be broken up, and yet we just... The way our services are constructed, we really... I mean, some churches have a setup where you can go 30 minutes, you can use the PowerPoint, you can teach line by line, you can make the connections, but a lot of us...
More of a teaching kind of a sermon.
A didactic sermon, yeah. But a lot of us don't have that sort of...
Right, because we have a one-point sermon and we're just trying to get to the,
Yeah, almost more geared towards something in Mark, where Jesus has a subtle point, and he's trying to do this inversion and get you to see things in a new way.
And that's what we're trying to do in our sermons, I mean, mostly, right? Like coming and get people to see things in a new way.
A revolution of grace in every sermon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
But this,
It's just
there's so much material to cover. So
well, so this presents obviously a problem, and then we're gonna have it for the next 3 weeks, you know,
Right.
and with these long narratives. But one thing you always taught me was that you just have to choose.
choose, go for your one thing and stick with it.
You can't tell, you can't
Yeah.
preach all 40 verses of this.
Yeah.
You got to find a part and just choose that moment. And it's so, I mean, I think like Flannery O'Connor, right? She's like, if you want to tell something, some big truth, you got to talk about a particular thing.
Absolutely.
So if you just maybe a little moment here and you talk about that.
And the big thing here, maybe Jesus is undoing the violence of his own people. The Samaritans had been victims of the Jews. In 128, the Jews went in and attacked their holy mountain. And this would be like Rome destroying Israel's temple.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that is what is at question for this woman, right? When she realizes what's going on here, she asked the basic question, you know, that would be that a Samaritan would ask to a Jewish, you know, teacher, where's the right place to worship? Because this is in response to they came in and, you know, wiped us all out.
Yeah.
Undoing the violence of his people.
Well, I mean, maybe we should go there with this because so many preachers have obsessed about the character of the woman.
Right.
Was she a good woman? Was she a prostitute?
You got 5 husbands, and the one you're with is not
Yeah, and obviously something powerful happens when Jesus meets her and breaks down all these barriers, and then she goes to her people, and there's this profound reconciliation.
Yeah.
It would be as if Caesar came back to the Jews and said, you know, here, have a drink.
Yeah.
Let's be friends.
Right, and they all came out and embraced Caesar.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Undoing the violence of his people, and that's the kind of God I want, that's the kind of God I want to preach, that's the kind of person I want to be, that's the kind of like people I want to be among. Let's start right now trying to undo the violence of our people. Yeah.
Amen.
All right, let us know how you preach it. Thanks.
Yes.
I'm sorry I just did the